Hey, welcome to my tutorial on chopping breaks in audio and strudel. I'm excited to show you these techniques because it's been a lot of trial and error in terms of figuring out like the best way to do this, the most efficient way to do this, and also the best sounding way to do this. And I'm really excited to be able to share them with other people as well. I've loaded these sample repos up here. These are just some repos I put together of like famous breakbeats that I like chopped all to 2 cycles in length and then like compressed them and made them sound nice and full. Okay, since they're all 2 cycles long and we know that, we shorthand for making a pattern go half as fast as doing divided by 2. So, and then we can fit it. So basically we're gonna pitch up or down the break in order to fit a single cycle length. Or in this case, it's stretched out to 2 because we did divided by 2. So that should sound like, I'm going to change the audio output here. And so if we have a metronome, I'm just going to do one of white noise, 8 notes with a short decay. We should hear that this is playing the correct tempo. We'll lower Okay. Cool, so this is cool. So we have our breakbeat loaded. This is just what it sounds like from scratch. But now we can use the scrub function. And what scrub allows you to do, this is a function I'm really excited about, is just take the sample, start of the sample is 0, end of the sample is 1, and we can scrub it like a tape loop. We can like grab the little window of what's happening and just play it at any point. And this isn't necessarily like tied to just like single increments of like 16 or 8 or anything like that. Like you can type in anything, like you can get really wonky rhythms if you want. Some are more musical than others. This is just random values. This isn't probably going to sound very good, but so if you want to get really experimental, you could do that, but we're going for like classic chop break beat sounds. So I like to chop the break into 16 even parts. And so I can pass in a random integer of 16, right? And then I can divide it by 16 because we still want it to be between 0 and 1. But now we have these increments that are 1/16, okay? So, and we want it to be, I always just start with 8th note segments, right? So we're gonna, seg is just shorthand for segments. So this should play random chop values in 16th, sections 1/16 long, basically 8th notes. And let's take a look at a scope so we can watch it happen. So yeah, so there's like lots of genres of like jungle where it's like, it seems completely random. It's usually not, it's usually like hand chopped. Or there might be like a max MSP patch or some other thing going on. And so this is like super, super duper random and almost like too random. So we want to constrain this with the ribbon function. What the ribbon function does is if you imagine the whole length of time from the beginning to end. So like here's the beginning, here's the end. Ribbon is just taking scissors, right? And it's cutting a small section of time and just looping it over and over again. So you just have this ribbon. It's almost like a tape loop, just playing over and over and over in the same spot. Okay, so we want to ribbon this randomness. So we can ribbon it from cycle 0, 1 cycle long. So now you hear it's the same every time, right? So we can try different seeds. Like we're not constrained to cycle 0. We could try cycle 200. Cool. Yeah. And we can even pattern this. So say we like cycle 20 and we like cycle 4, right? We could do 4, then 20. Cool. And we can add even more variation by making it, sometimes we're going to make it like do like a stuttery effect, which is kind of like a classic like breaks breakcore, you want to call it jungle, whatever. It's like a classic effect because it's an effect that's available on most like Pioneer DJ systems. Okay, so I like doing almost never. Almost never is just shorthand for sometimes 10% of the time, basically. We can type in ply, which means repeat 2 or 4 times. So sometimes when this almost never is triggered, yeah, you can hear it going. It's going to choose between either the 2 or the 4. Cool. And we can apply this almost never to the hi-hat pattern we made to make it skip sometimes as well. So let's hear how that. Yeah. Make this a little louder so we can hear it. Oh, I played a sample that was way too loud. Okay, so wait, 0.45. Cool. That's super sick. Now we have this break sample and we have this hi-hat pattern. What can we do to make this song more interesting? In a lot of jungle music, breakcore, whatever you want to call it, there's these the pad sounds, just like, it's usually like minor 7, 9, 11 chords. Maybe they're not holding down all the notes at the same time, but it's usually like a lot of playing around on the keyboard and then sampling a section of it and then just like chopping it up. Is one way to do it, essentially. So we're gonna do the same thing here, but we're gonna do it really fast. So we have these pads that we've loaded here, and these are publicly available. They're mostly just like pads I recorded from Serum. Feel free to use them for whatever if you want. Okay, so you see they've loaded here on the side as SW pad. If they haven't shown up there yet, it's because you haven't like executed it yet. It's fine. Just don't worry. If it's not there, don't worry about it. Okay, so type in SW pad and then scrub, right? And we can scrub, we can just try some different locations in the scrub. So we can try 0 and then maybe 0.3 and then 0.2 and then 0.4 or something. And let's see how that sounds. Or if we want like a different pad, we can use this index function. N stands for index. Cool. I like 5. Or I guess this 5 is the same as 1. Okay, so I like this 4. It's like pretty, I don't know. It's got a lot of tension in it. I think it's like a minor 11 chord or something. Okay, so we can find chops that we like, right? We can manually do it like 0.3 at 3 or something, and then 0.2. And then I find another one, right? So I'm just gonna save that up here. I'm gonna put them in an array. So I just got chops or something equals 0.3 and 0.2, and then I can try another one that's like 0.15 or 16. Maybe instead of holding it, it will repeat 3 times, and then like this can hold for 5, right? And then this one, I want to be completely random. So I can do like random value and then do like segments of 16 or 8. Or just 8 random segments. Okay, so we can use the pick function in order to like choose from this array of chops. So we're gonna pass in this pick to the scrub, and then we're gonna pass in our chops. And then now we can pass in a value that refers to the index of the array of our chops. And let's view it on the punch card. And I'm going to change the color of each of these so we can tell them even more. Like this one will be teal color will be, I don't know, yellow. Okay, so now we have the teal chop going. Now we have I want to mess with this one a little bit more. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. Okay. And then our random chop, right? It would be index 2. Or maybe make those 16th notes instead. Oh, that's too much. So we're gonna ribbon this till I find one I like, right? So let's just try a random number. Let's do 33 for half a cycle. Maybe add a phaser on top. Classic. Okay, so now what we can actually do is we can pattern these chops, right? So we can do the first chop for 3 bars, and then we can split up this last bar to 2 parts. So we can do the second chop for half a bar, and then the random chop for the last half. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah. And I'm gonna make this drum beat, this break more interesting too. So we have our breaks repo loaded, and I think there's like 5 distinct breaks in this. So we can actually choose them with the index function here. And we can pattern this as well. So we can start with the amen break. We can do this for 3 cycles, right? And then on the 4th cycle, I wanted to pick a different one. Cool. And that's pretty cool, but maybe we want even more variation. We can actually pattern the index as well, like randomly. So let's just like randomly switch through the breakbeats. Let's just see what that sounds like. And actually, if we move it after our scrub, we'll get the rhythmic pattern applied. So it will, instead of changing every cycle, it will change on every single time an event happens. So this is pretty chaotic, but maybe there's something in here that we like. So we can play around with ribbon. Maybe we just wanted to choose between the first 2 breaks. Yeah, that's much more coherent. And let's try a different ribbon down here too, because I'm getting a little tired of this beat. Let's just try a different number. And 2 cycles long. Maybe 4 cycles long, actually. And we can make this sound even more like coherent if we distort the breaks together, right? So distorting by 2 is usually good, and then lowering the volume after with a second array parameter. Cool. And we can bring our pad back in. I'm just gonna stick with our first chop actually, because it's pretty good. And increase the attack time. Maybe put some reverb on it. Increase the room size. Oh, not that big. A pattern that sometimes works really well with this style of music is like 0 at 5 and then 0 at 3. So just like for 5/8 notes and then 3/8 notes, both held in length, and it gives us like do do kind of pattern. And then we can add on top of it, right? To find a different place in the sample. Let's go back to just our A man. This song's so freaking good. Okay. What can we do next? Maybe sometimes we want the break to play like at a higher, like a double, not the break, the pad to play it like double the pitch. Okay, so we're gonna use our .note function, and by default, it's always playing at C2. So if we load it at C3. So I'm gonna pattern this, C2, and then C3. And then maybe we wanna add like a respace type of vibe. So we can do that with the super saw, with a low pass filter, like a low pass filter. Let's just try some notes. I don't actually know what notes this is playing. And maybe 8 note segments. Okay, yeah, so that sounds good. So C2, G sharp, and then G sharp 1 and F1. So all right. Yes, it sounds so good! If we wanted to like drone on more, we can, instead of 8 notes, we can just do 1 cycle. Yeah. Or we can make like it follow the rhythmic structure of our pad with the struct function. So at 5 and then at 3. And remove this segment here. Yeah, and then we can apply an envelope and increase the attack. And distort it a little bit. Cool. Oh, one last thing we can do is we can add a low pass filter at the end to create like build-ups and breakdowns here. So we can do all X, and that's basically passing everything in as a single pattern. And we can apply a low pass filter here. And I'll remove this. I'll remove this. Over here, we'll turn off the low pass envelope. Okay. And we can pass in a slider to control it, like you would on like a DJ controller setup. Okay, so for sliders, I like with low pass filters, I like to go 0, 0, 100. So it's gonna be between 0 and 100, and then we want to do an exponential curve because you don't hear the frequency domain in a linear way as a human being. So we're gonna do .power of 2, and we're gonna drag this up. Yeah. Bring it back down. Yeah. That's so pretty. I want to put a high pass filter on this pad so it takes up less space in the mix. There we go. Now there's more room for the bass. Okay, yeah, and now I want to create a really cool build-up. And so we can do that by, in our all function, we can actually make it repeat in a certain section with ribbon. So, like maybe we want to like, dun 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 da 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 da, you know, that kind of thing. So we can use the ribbon for that. And I'm gonna ribbon on cycle 6 because I know that's when my bass pad bass note resolves to the F. But you can do cycle 0, you can do cycle anything, it doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna start with half a cycle long. And so we can increase the energy. And then yeah, we're back, baby. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of my tutorial on chopping audio and specifically breaks, just because it was a good like method for demonstrating chopping audio in Strudel. And I have a part 2 video coming out as well. So if you enjoyed this and you want to learn more about chopping audio and sort of advanced manipulation of randomness, by advanced I just mean it's like kind of thing that I haven't really seen explored to the, you know, full depth that can be explored. So it's still right for experimentation. So yeah, I have a part 2 video coming out, and I also have an album. I have music online. So yeah, check it out. Name Switch Angel. Yep. Thanks for watching.